Good evening, everybody. How are you all doing? It's me, Mr. Flynn, and we are back with round number 3 at the lovely circuit of Suzuka today, located in Japan. The F2 lot waiting in the background, ready to go here with 12 drivers, maybe 13 drivers now. Yeah, some awesome racing to look forward to. As always, a one-shot qualifying to see who the fastest driver is on track at the moment, and then a sprint race of 11 laps around the circuit, and then followed by 15 laps around the circuit with the feature race. So lots of entertainment, lots of action for today. You could say tonight, really, but yeah, we're just waiting in the background, and we'll get going very, very shortly. But what are your thoughts on this circuit? A little bit of an interesting one. It has a total of 18 corners, 3 lovely sectors, and I believe it's one sector with one DRS zone. So overtaking is going to be very, very high and possible around these sectors, or sector 2 and 3. Sector 1, however, yes, you can get an overtaking opportunity move on the exit of 18 down to turn 1, but are we going to see any fantastic, wonderful, risky overtakes as we head into the S-bends? Potentially, so keep an eye on that one and see how that goes. But yeah, let's just get you on the screen that you're probably wanting to see a lot more, which will be the lovely screen of the gameplay. And yeah, there you go. So 12 drivers in the lobby so far, excluding me as I am the spectator commentating this lovely race. And like I said, we're literally just waiting to crack on here. It should be any moment now, as we're 1 minute past 8, so yeah, we'll get going very, very shortly. But how are we all doing? Hope we're doing well. And what's everyone been up to for their Friday as we inch forward to the weekend of Saturday and Sunday? Some more awesome racing action about to happen this weekend, of course. You've got the wonderful ACC of me once again for round number 3 at Suzuka, which is quite funny because obviously with tier 1 and 2 they follow the same calendar as F2, so this whole week is going to be in Japan at Suzuka. So yeah, not too bad. And the weather conditions for ACC and F1 this weekend is, I believe, nice and dry. So drivers don't need to panic, don't need to worry about these conditions, because nice and dry conditions with F2 and F1, which means it'll be a lot more easier for racing action, overtakes, and just grip in standard conditions. As we know, these F2 cars aren't a fan of grip, so when it comes to wet conditions, it can be what's called a little bit interesting. But we're now getting into the lobby of the one-shot qualifying. We will ride on board with the driver that is on a lap, so we don't switch through, because when you do that in a one-shot quali, it black screens and then it shows the next driver, which I think is just really annoying and frustrating. But we'll keep an eye on whoever we go on board with. It could be Twin again, because the last 2 rounds have been on board with Twin, so we'll see who it is today. Like I say, it's dry weather with a bit of cloudy skies, so the track temperature could differ, it could change, it could stay the same. We'll just have to find out. We're going to wait for everyone to put their setups on, and then we can crack on with a one-shot quali around this lovely circuit and see who will take pole position today and who will invalidate or not get pole position. See if anyone can surprise us today. And whilst I'm waiting, I'm going to pull up on my phone these standings, and once we've done that and we get into the next lot, we can go ahead and see where everyone is in the standings, which is here. I'm not too sure if they've been posted yet, so we'll keep an eye peeled on that one. Let's see what happens. AM, hello buddy, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. How are you? And here we go. Green flag racing at the lovely circuit, as we all know, of Suzuka. And I'm guessing this has got to be a glitch now or something, because we're back on board with Twin once again as he makes his way into turns 1, 2 and 3, and then they're going to go into the S-bends of Sector 1. The tricky, I'd say, part of the track is Sector 1, especially these S-bends, because look at the F2 cars, they have to stick almost to the track, and so far Twin doing an excellent job and is making his way into P7. Looking at the top 3, however, Robbie McQueen sticking up in pole position, Ryan Gosling slotting into P2 at the moment, and Tatus up into 3rd, and then gets bumped down to P4 as Brisson makes his way up into 3rd. So a little bit of a fight for the top 3 happening left, right and centre, so we'll keep our eyes peeled on that one. But right now, we have the wonderful Twin making their way into turn number 9, heading towards now, which is going to be turn number 10, and then the little dip to the left hand, a little bit of a hairpin section of turn 11. Oh, a little bit of a back end loss there from Twin. It's still staying in P7 though, and getting I'd say a decent exit now, making the way up to P6. So they're finding time out there on the track. And yeah, the top 2 is switching around. Tattoos into P2, Brisen into P4, Ryan Gosling into P4. As Twin is bumping up and down from P6 and P5. So yeah, it's all going on here, left, right and centre. But Wobbin McQueen looking quite brave, and I'd say looking quite confident for pole position at the moment. So he hasn't really moved an inch. Suffocating now, making his way up into P5. James into P7. Now P6. So maybe Ryan Gosling has had a moment somewhere on the circuit and they've lost a chunk of time, because they're finding themselves all the way down in P5 when they are up in the top 3. But Twin doing an excellent job, and it's actually Suffocator who comes out on top and takes P4. But what's the lap time is it going to be from Wobbin McQueen? It's a 141.394. Mr. Tattoos a 141. I believe it was a 0.5 something, but there you go. Twin into P7. Lovely stuff there. That was a one-shot quali. That was a little bit interesting, but a few drivers there in the 141s, which are 3 drivers, which is also Wobbin McQueen, a 141.394, Tattoos a 141.590, and then Brisen to round up the top 3 a 141.591. So pretty close, I'd say, by the top 2, because they are separated by a tenth. No, what do you call it? A second. Second thousandths, so a thousandth of a second. That is just absolutely crazy. And then Wobbin McQueen doing a very standard good job there for a lap, and yeah, taking the field by somewhat a mad mile, shall we say. That was an interesting quali, but now we're going to get into the proper action of racing here. 11 laps around Suzuka. Who will take the sprint win? We'll find out. And having a look at the championship standings, I don't believe they have updated. No, they haven't. So on round 3. So I'm not too sure what the standings are, because they haven't been posted in that channel yet. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that one. It should get posted tonight, but I'm not too sure. So we'll just keep our eyes peeled on that one. But like I say, we're just playing the waiting game now. It shouldn't be too long to get into the racing action, and we'll see who takes a sprint win into the feature race. But I must say, some drivers are looking quite confident on the power around Suzuka, and quite confident in the corners as well. So maybe the F2 cars aren't too bad as I was thinking around this circuit. It's actually my first time as well seeing these cars around the circuit, which is actually quite funny. But here we go then, 4, 5 red lights here at the wonderful circuit of Suzuka. It's going to be green flag racing, and it's lights out, and away we go. A very good start then from Viper Strikes, and James already up into P2. Matt Pyer dropping down to P4. However, Jazz competing with Matt. Oh my goodness, into the S-bends now. These two might try and go wheel to wheel, and Matt might have to conceal, and he does. And Matt now drops down to P4. Ryan Gosling in the background up into P8, but might lose another position to Tattoos very, very shortly, and he does. Down to P9 he goes, still fighting away with Tattoos, and Tattoos ahead into the corner of Sector 1 after the S-bend section. And wow, Ryan Gosling after a very poor start from him. But Vibe Strikes, it is him who leads the way into the first lap of racing. And already Brisen on the gearbox, it looks like, of, I think it's Twin, and it is on the gearbox of Twin. But yeah, not a bad lap for a few drivers here at Suzuka. Oh, we do have moves in the background though. I believe that's Tattoos trying to make his way up into P6 and try and get past Suffocating. But Suffocating saying no, and no, not P6, sorry, defending for P7. And Suffocating saying no, I'm going to close the door on you, Tattoos, and I'm going to keep my P7 for now. However, Brisen right on the gearbox of Twin here might look to make an overtake very, very shortly, because they are gaining and gaining and gaining so much in a straight line, and they might try and go into 130R here for an overtaking opportunity move, which would be insane. And I thought someone up front was about to go for a move, but they didn't. And Ryan Gosling might try and go for a move, and he doesn't. He backs out of it as well. A bit of a lock-up there, and off the track goes someone, I believe that was Chachus going off track, and now into the chicane part of the first lap of racing completed, and Ryan Gosling finds his way up into P8. Brisen, however, fighting here with Suffocating and provisionally for P6 as we make our way down into turn number 1. Bit of a move happening up front is Twin going wheel to wheel with Matt. Matt trying to make this move so he can try and keep P4. Twinzol trying to go around the outside there. Still going to be wheel to wheel, and he backs out of it. And that is Twin still in P5. But here comes Suffocating, however, looking for a move around the outside here. Gets a bit of a squeeze and a push off circuit. And someone is around. That's actually Twin having contact with Suffocating. Drops down to P13. And Suffocating now up into P5. And yeah, a bit of an interesting incident, I'd say, but Stewards definitely have to look into that one if that gets reported. Ryan Gosling on the gearbox of to choose. Viper Strike's doing a very good job at the moment to retain pole position. The gap between him and second is around about 7/10, so not bad at all. Oh, a bit of a dive there by Mr. Mr. Goat in the background doing a bit of a dive for P9. Someone going off track there, and I believe that was Robbie McQueen going for a very interesting dive into that part of the chicane, and someone getting a spin, and that's going to be actually Mr. Goat down to P13 now, so him as well losing many positions. But Webby going for a move into the hairpin. Not ideal, I'd say. You don't really see overtakes happen there unless you're very close, but we'll have to see. Like I said, these reports could get reported, so we'll let the stewards decide on that one, because I'm not too sure myself what that would be. Without looking at the rulebook, obviously, so I'm not too sure. So I'm not going to make any decisions at this moment in time. But DRS activated on this lap. Is anybody close enough to pull onto the gearbox of any of these drivers and go for an overtake into turn number 1? Having a look on any onboards, and it looks like a no. But Suffocating going a little bit deep and a little bit late on the brakes, but managing to maintain that P5 for now. And I thought Brisen was going to look up the inside there and get past Suffocating, but doesn't, which is very good, because obviously Ollie will be happy to defend for P5 for now. But Robin McQueen down in P11. Maybe looking to not score any points at all. With this sprint race, of course, the top 8 go above and beyond 4 points. So where we're right now in P11, won't be scoring any points, which obviously definitely isn't ideal. Now, what's interesting is Viper Strikes has managed to break the DRS to James behind. So James will be under humongous pressure now from P3, which is Jazz, around about 2 tenths behind him right now. So let's go on board with the top 3, because we're not seeing much of them, because there's not been much action happening between these 3, but we might get some as we make our way down in I believe it's now sector 2 to turns 13 and the lovely 14, making our way all the way down past 15 and 16 very shortly. And on the halfway mark, when we get past that white line which you see at the bottom right of the track map, we're now heading in towards sector 3. However, right on the gearbox here is Jazz. Might be looking for a interesting move into the chicane. He's going to pull to the right hand side, late on the brakes. He is going to go late on the brakes, wheel to wheel now with James Mustang, and just before the exit of turn 17, he makes his way up into P2, and now the gap between himself and Viper Strikes is around about 2 seconds. And is James Mustang going to be able to respond? He doesn't have the DRS, so he can't really attack this lap. If he can keep close enough, he could go for a move. Now we have Suffocating. I believe that was him defending from the car behind, which would have been Brisen. But Matt once again going offline almost, and that might allow Suffocating to go for a move for P4. But he just isn't close enough. And now in the background, we've got Brisen once again going wheel to wheel with Suffocating, trying to get this move done for P5. And they're still hanging it about. These two still going for it. And now Brisen trying to fight this one. Could have to choose, stealing his P6 opportunity as we make our way now down into turns 8 and 9. Tachus ahead somehow and gets the move done for P6. That was some lovely fighting between Suffocating and Brisen. And Brisen Tachus, lovely wheel-to-wheel combat, but there you go. Tachus up into P6 now. Suffocating slots into P5, and with Matt obviously doing all that fighting, left, right and centre, has actually lost, I believe, the DRS to P3. Is about 1.1 is the gap. So if he doesn't close it within this lap, he could be under humongous pressure from suffocating, as he'll have the DRS advantage. But it depends what his exits are like, and depends how close he gets. And someone right on the gearbox once again has risen on the gearbox of Chachus up to 130R now, making our way through turn number 15 and then 16. Is he going to go for a move? We're under virtual safety car conditions because I believe someone, well, no one's crashed, and it could have been someone spinning around and losing a front wing. So this gives an opportunity for the drivers to cool down their tires and save a bit of rubber and wear from their tires, really. So VSC racing neutralized, and are we back to racing speed? No, we're not. Oh, 5-second time penalty going out to Twin for speeding in the pit lane. Definitely not what you want to see, and definitely not ideal, but under VSC conditions it shouldn't be too long till we get back to racing speed. Who do you think will be crowned champion of Suzuka today? You know, a very tricky, tough circuit. My money is going towards Viper Strikes. Lap number 5, heading towards lap number 6 very, very shortly. And he's retained the lead since lap 1, so we'll see how he does. He got a very good start, though, so that could, you know, give him the benefit of a doubt by getting a good start and leading into turn 1 and 2 in the S-bends and not making a major mistake. But we'll see if Jazz can close that gap and retain and take away P1 from Viper. So that could be a good battle to watch out for. Right then, drive-through penalty for speeding under VSC. Go out to Matt Pyre. Definitely not what you want to see and not ideal. So that's a free overtaking opportunity for Suffocating, who's actually made his way up into P4. So he could have caught Matt napping there and made his way up into P4 very, very cheekily. But Matt right on the gearbox here, Suffocating, might go for a move very, very shortly, but he just hasn't got the best of exits, and the gap is now, what, 4/10. So I wouldn't say it's close enough to get a move done, but it depends what his wings are set to, and if it's set to absolute destroying straight line speed. Now we've got a fight for the top 2, and they're getting quite close. That was James getting past Jazz into 130R. Jazz trying to come back here into the chicane part, the wheel to wheel on the exit of 16. It's still going to be James Mustang ahead. And with all that fighting and commotion going on, Suffocating now finds himself right behind P number 3. So he might try and go for a move as we make our way down to turn 1. Suffocating, go on board with him quickly. He's not going to make the move. There's wheel to wheel going on between these two drivers. But Suffocating's going to try and take it on the apex here. Into the S-bends now. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Trying to get my turns right here and remember it off by heart. But wow, this is some awesome racing actually getting. But what's not ideal is Viper Strikes, a slam dunk, potentially a 3-second time penalty awarded to his name. That's probably going to be for track limits. Have a quick look at that and make sure it is track limits and nothing major or serious. I'm pressing wrong buttons here once again, so we're going to try and press the right buttons, which was that one. And he has got it's only a 3-second time penalty, so not ideal to have 3 seconds, but at least it's not a drive-through penalty, because if it was, that would completely destroy his race. So as Viper Strikes is going to try very, very hard and very, very quickly to run away with this race victory and a race win. Suffocating in the background is going to try and go wheel to wheel with James Mustang on the exit of the hairpin. You don't normally see overtakes happen here, but Suffocating might just do it. There's still wheel to wheel. Is there going to be combat? Is there going to be contact? And there isn't. 3-second time penalty, though, being slam dunk to James Mustang for multiple warnings on the track. He now drops down to P number 5 after the exit of turn number 14. Suffocating. Is he going to do what he would like to do? Grab P2, try and chase down Jazz in P2, and then try and help his teammate with the benefit of doubt and just be the bus and be the one who holds everyone up. And Chachus was looking very opportunistic there to get a move up into P5, but I don't think he could just quite do that. And right on his gearbox now is Ryan Gosling. Might contend for P6 as we make our way down into turn number 1. Skill issue in the background, getting past Mr. Goat for P10, and that was James Mustang losing a position to Chachus, and it could as well be to Ryan Gosling. He might have to conceal here, and he might just about, but they're still going to try and go wheel to wheel through the S-bends, and it all was a bit of contact there, and James is off track. Hopefully he rejoins safely. But that was a bit of bargy going on. Now, the gap is 3 seconds to Viper Strikes and Jazz. Momentarily, it's dropped down to 2.8. So Viper Strikes here has got to drive a very good race now to retain that 3-second gap. And Suffocating has got to try and close up to the rear ring of Jazz. And then, like I say, be the bus, slow everyone down, and help his team and help his teammates to get a race victory here. Or I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see if there's going to be team orders and if there's going to be a bus of hold up. And that is Mr. Goat going straight on at turn number 9 there. Definitely not ideal. That is definitely going to be a front wing completely gone. You can see that his left wing gone on his car. That's him into P11. Webby having a very decent returning race. Finds himself in P7 after making that interesting dive into the hairpin and obviously having that contact, and that made him, I wouldn't say spin, just made him go off track and lose quite a lot of time in a few positions. But Webby into 130R isn't close enough to go for a move. Around about 2 tenths is the gap between these two. Someone going wide there in the background is the wonderful Mr. Maverick, currently sitting in P8. However, on the exit, Webby just isn't close enough, so he won't be able to go for a move at all. Someone, though, who is going to go for a move on Suffocating, actually, with DRS into turn 1 is going to be Brisen. Is he going to be close enough? He isn't going to be close enough. I thought he was for just a moment, but he definitely wasn't at all. And now Suffocating right behind P2. Brisen there, a bit of a scary moment of traction loss. I'm glad he saved that, because that could have been big woes and a bit upsetting if Brisen lost that one, because I think he'd be a bit frustrated if he lost the car there, because he found himself in a very good position at this moment of time. Anyone else close on track at the moment? It's Webby McQueen right on the gearbox here of Ryan Gosling. Is he going to try and go for a move very, very shortly? Yes. If he's close enough, into the hairpin. Hopefully he doesn't make the same mistake as he did a few laps ago and make contact with the driver, which will send him off track again and definitely out of the points paying position. But look at that, Brisen on the gearbox, on the rear wing of Suffocating. I think Suffocating is really starting to feel the pressure of Brisen behind him P4. And actually, what's happening here? Retiree on track is Mr. Goat, and that brings out a safety car that Viper Strikes does not need, with a 3-second time penalty to his name. That could be his chance of a race win gone completely. With that 3-second time penalty, he is going to lose so many positions. That is unreal to happen on lap number 8 heading towards lap number 9. Absolutely unreal. Viper Strikes, he'll be feeling that pain right now, trust me. And we saw there in the background Brisen going off track there. I believe it was at near turn 15, so mowing the lawn there, shall we say. No one is going to be into the pit lane because there's no need to, and there's no point whatsoever, because I think the safety car will be in this lap anyway. So are we going to see team orders as Viper Strike's teammate Suffocating is in P3? Is Suffocating going to try and get past Jazz and then hold everybody up, or is he just going to send it and try and go for the race win? And Viper Strikes will unfortunately lose a lot of positions. So yeah, the way it is at the moment, set to where he is, he's in P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6 and P7 don't have a penalty to their name. Neither does P10 or P11. So once the whole grid bunches up, he's got a lot of work to do. So he's got to hope for carnage, or Suffocating his teammate might hold a few drivers up here so he doesn't lose too many positions. But we'll find out to see what happens on the restart. Lap number 9, heading towards lap number 10, the penultimate lap of the race. We're heading to very, very shortly. This could be a crazy restart. We'll just have to find out how crazy it's going to be. So, yeah. If you do have any ideas of strategies, or who you think might win now with this safety car restart happening very, very shortly, do let me know in the chat. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. So yeah, feel free to let me know. So here we go then. The safety car is in this lap. Confirmation from race control. So having said that, and confirmation from race control, we're going to get to green flag racing very, very shortly. A crazy, crazy restart. I think Viper Strikes has already reacted. No, he hasn't. He has not reacted yet. And now he's gone. Viper Strikes is gone. Jazz right behind in P2. Suffocating. Getting a very good restart here. So are we going to see a potential overtake happening down the field into turns 2 and 3? No, not this moment yet, but we're into the S section now. Bit of a battle going between Brisen and Tetuse for P4. And Tetuse able to get this move done. No, he's not actually. Brisen in the background trying to fight this one. Still wheel to wheel with Tetuse. Tetuse on the outside, or should I say on the inside, sorry. And then gets the move done and up into P4. Suffocating. Might try and go for a move here on Jazz. And I think he might back out of this one as we head in towards 8 and 9. Depends what the exit's going to be on 9. Not a great one for Suffocating, going way too aggressive there on the curb. And he could now lose the position out here to Tetuse as we make our way into the hairpin section. Late on the brake, Suffocating goes to defend that one. Oh, there's contact with 2 drivers behind. And I believe, oh, wrong buttons, pressing again. That was Brisen getting involved with that contact. And I believe, out of all the people, Ryan Gosling getting involved, Webby trying to go for a move, losing so much time with those 2 making contact. Definitely not what you want to see. Definitely not ideal. Hopefully, there's no drivers as we head towards this final lap with hopefully no damage, but we'll find out. As Suffocating has managed to defend hard from Tetuse behind, but in doing so, there's an 8/10 gap between himself and Jazz. Viper Strikes under humongous pressure right now from P1, or P2, sorry. Well, I could say P1 as he has a 3-second time penalty. At the moment, Jazz, the way penalties are going, is in provisional P1. We head to the final lap then of racing around Suzuka for the sprint race. And then we're going to get into the feature race very, very shortly. Webby now finds his way up into P6, getting past all the chaos of Ryan Gosling. Up next on his list is going to be Brisen, who's 2 far up the road, I think. About a 1.1 gap between those 2. Could Webby do it and conceal P5? He could do indeed. Could gain another position, actually, because obviously Viper Strikes, with that penalty to his name, will lose a lot of positions. On the gearbox of Jazz right now is Suffocating. Viper Strikes' teammate trying to go for P2 to take the race win here at Suzuka. Can he get it done as we make our way into 8 and 9? Then turns 10 and 11 approaching us very, very shortly. Suffocating. No mistakes now. No major problems or errors into the hairpin exit now. Look at this. So much grip Suffocating has. He's not going to get the move done here because he's not close enough. He's got to prioritize and get the best exit he possibly can as we make our way to 13 and 14 very, very shortly. On the gearbox, though, Tetuse. What the... I don't know what to say. That was an interesting one. Tetuse looking way too desperate there to go for a move. And he's up into P3, Suffocating into P4, but might get promoted into P3 as Viper Strikes with that time penalty to his name. Into 130R we go now. And Suffocating looking like he might make a move to Juice. Does give the position back. And in the background, Brisen trying to go for a move. But on board with Viper Strikes now as all the chaos is happening. He comes around the final corner to take the race win on track. But with track race win today, it's going to be Hugh Jazz taking the race win here for the sprint race. And Viper Strikes dropping all the way down to P4. So not too bad. And I think he'll be happy with that one. That was crazy. Tetuse with that dive into turns, what was it? 12 and 13. That was a little bit desperate, I'd say. Not ideal, but I believe he did give the position back to Suffocating. I believe he did. GG's Tetuse, 100 bitties. Thank you so much, AM, for the bits. He did well, he did well. A little bit too desperate, I'd say, into turns number 12 and 13. But like I say, when we get the confirmation what the race results were, we'll be able to see if he was, you know, doing a good sport and giving you know, the position back. Yeah, we will see if he did or didn't, and then if he didn't, then farewells, fair dues. But if so, we'll just let the stewards look at that one. It looks like he did. Campos Racing suffocating, slots into P2. Obviously, Vibe Strikes having that penalty, loses out on the sprint race victory. It's Jazz for the win in Dam's racing team. Prima Racing to choose in P3. Vibe Strikes in P4. Webby sitting comfortably in P5. And there you go. But no, I am glad to choose did get a position back, because like I said, it was a little bit too desperate from himself, and I think he knows that he made a slight error. So yeah, there you go. But here we go then, into the lovely, what did you call it, feature race. That's what I was trying to say. And it's looking very sunny and no clouds to get in our way, so track temperature should be wonderful, you know, wonderful. And we should have no problems with track grip. I'm cheerleader. That's good to hear. I've just seen you are, so I'd say very, very good. And congratulations on being the new cheerleader of the Phoenix and Sport channel. Right then, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here at Suzuka, and it's lights out, and away we go here. It's a very good start from Robbie McQueen, who starts in P1 to choose, following very closely into, I believe it is P number 2. Someone going off track there, and that's James Mustang going, I believe that's very, very wide there, and dropping down to P7, and all that commotion going on in the background. Positions happening left, right, and centre. That was Ryan Gosling, I believe, getting past Jazz. Obviously, James losing a few positions. Mav right on the gearbox here of Matt, suffocating up into P4, so he's made a position on the start. It's a very good start by Robin McQueen once again, to choose right on the gearbox, so he might try and get Webby when he can very, very shortly. Brisen slots into P3, about a tenth away from Chachus. Bit of a rear end loss and a bit of a slidey, scary moment there for, I think that was suffocating in the background, or that was Brisen, I'm not too sure. We've got a move happening in the background there. I believe that was, I think that's James. Was it James? No, it wasn't. It was, I believe it was Mr. Goat trying to get past Maverick for P9, but Maverick doing everything he can, able to defend that position for now. Someone on the gearbox once again is Matt, sitting in P9. Might try and go for P7 here, but obviously not close enough to go for a move at the moment. That is definitely not ideal, Jakob. I am really, really sorry to hear that, buddy. I can understand your anger. Yeah. Sorry to hear that, Jakob. What was your fastest lap time, by any chance? As we see onboard action between Brisen now and Chachus heading towards turn 1. It's going to be an interesting maneuver. You don't normally see moves happening. You do it, obviously you do it like turn 2 here, you see moves happening, but into the S-bends. Is he still there? He isn't still there, but that could have been quite nasty if those two are going wheel to wheel, because it is so tricky to, obviously, right here in the S-bends to go wheel to wheel. Webby now, 1.5 is the gap. He is trying to run away as quickly as possible and keep this lead for as long as he can, as I think he'd be very happy with a race win victory around this circuit of Suzuka. Of course, it's such a tricky track to navigate around. And Twin now 2 tenths behind P10, which is Mr. Goat. Obviously, not close enough to go for a move at all, as there's not many straights to do the overtake, and there's a lot of bends, lots of braking zones, so we'll see what happens as we get towards the end of the hairpin section now, which is turn number 11. No dives, no silly dives at all, so that's all Gucci. Yeah, so he sticks behind for now for another lap of racing. And what's the closest battle on track? I think it's Suffocating, even though James Mustang is around about 3 tenths, but we'll see if Suffocating can pull in a little bit more and get himself closer to P3, which is Tatus. No, that's all good, Yakko. I just thought I'd come and congratulate you, not obviously congratulate you on, you know, a good lap and just good luck and focus. I kept getting pushed off. Oh, that's not ideal. I can understand your frustration though if you kept getting pushed off. I'd be quite annoyed as well if I kept getting pushed off. I can understand that. And now we had a move in the background. That was a bit of a late braking move, I think, from a skill issue. And he tried to go for a late braking move into the hairpin section. He could have got it done, actually, and possibly did, as Vibe Strikes tried to fight that one. And skill issue just getting a better exit and better straight line speed. But Vibe Strikes might look to go for a move into turn one. And he was looking. He was looking. But unfortunately not late enough on the brakes to get the move done. James Mustang trying... Oh, that was James trying to get past Jazz. Oh, no. Slight contact there. The slightest contact that sent him round. Maverick now finds himself down into P10. After all that progress he'd done, he finds himself about 1.6 away from P9. So the issue is DRS has enabled this lap. So if Mav's not close enough, he won't get that rear wing open to help him defend from behind. However, Twin, right on the gearbox here of Mr. Goat, might go for a move as we make our way to turn 18 very, very shortly with DRS activated to get the move done. Or if they make a minor mistake, he could get the overtaking opportunity done at, like, I don't know, 1:30 or something. Like them. On board of Ryan Gosling now. Around about 10th separates P5, P4. P3 is around about 2.4 away from P2, and P2 is around about 1.8. So it's time to chomp down that gap. It's Prison into P2. Bit of crazy fighting. We sadly missed in the top 3 as I was so focused on the bottom 10, which is my apologies. So apologies on that one, but I just didn't realise because it was all happening with the contact of James and all that commotion's all going on. So yeah, we'll try and focus more up on the top of the grid. But if there's commotion at the bottom of the grid, of course, fair dues, fair plays. We're going to take a look at that as well. DRS activated. No one's really close enough to go for a move, except Viper Strikes. On the gearbox here, skill issue. Challenging for P11. And he has gone deep and wide, so... Yeah, doing that, he's lost out to get the move into P11 and drops down, or stays in his original position. Oh! Of P... 12? What happened there? Has he got damage, or... Oh, did he push Viper Strikes off and then give the position back? If so, that is very good sportsmanship from Skill Issue, so I take credit to that as well. You know, as we saw in the sprint race, Tachus went for a crazy dive and gave the position back to Suffocating. Yellow flags waving left, right and centre. Someone has spun or potentially gone off track, and we did see moves happen and switch around. Suffocating was in P3 and now finds himself down into P5, so that could have been what the yellow flags were for, because ahead of him is Tachus into P4 and Ryan Gosling into P3, so there's been a bit of a switch around for those drivers and the ones ahead. Webby, however, 2 seconds is the gap between P1 and P2. Prison just isn't able to close down on P1 at the moment. Maverick, however, on the gearbox of Twin into 130 yard now. He does go slightly off track. Twin does as well. Mav prioritizing and trying to get the best exit he possibly can. Could be close enough to go for a move. He's about a 10th behind. And then about to be thousandths behind as we make our way into turn 1, but just obviously once again isn't close enough, doesn't have the straight line speed to get it done. Skill issue, however, back into P11 and Viper Strikes back down to P12, and Mav just got past Twin for P9, so Twin down to P10. Maybe drivers are struggling there and going wide, which then slows them down, so then maybe that's how Viper Strikes got the move done, maybe something like that, because obviously that's now the second driver, which was Twin, who's made that mistake, and Mav's just gone meow around like the outside or inside and all over the place. So yeah, not too sure what's really going on, but however, we'll keep on board with Jazz in P6, Suffocating obviously in P5, And unfortunately, 1.5 seconds is the gap to P4, so he doesn't have DRS to defend this lap, so he's kind of lost time. And that could be in the result of the yellow flags that we saw earlier. You know, obviously he was in P3, he's dropped down to P5, so there could have been contact. He could have damage on his car. You never know, because obviously Jazz right now is right on the gearbox here of Suffocating, making our way up to 130R and through 130R. It's a complete flat-out corner, but could we hear a lift from the F2 cars? We have a lift and a downshift there from Jazz, which I believe you have to do in the F2 cars. I don't think you can take a flat out on these cars, which is probably true. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was a true thing, and that was Mr. Goat in the background trying to go for P7 on Matt, but just wasn't close enough and wasn't able to, and there wasn't really an opportunity to do so. And I don't think we're going to see any moves making our way into turn 1 on board of Mr. Goat. Not really, so unfortunate there. To choose, however, right on the gearbox of P3, which is Ryan Gosling there, around about 3 to 2 tenths each lap, so maybe them two could get close enough to go for a move. We'll see. But Suffocating with them two fighting is starting to close down that gap, 1.3 now. So it's around about here where the tyres will now start to die off, and they've got to think about obviously boxing for a fresh set of tyres. So they could do a medium to soft or super softs, whatever they've got available to them. I'm not too sure because I'm not really familiar with the F2 cars and the way the F2 tyre system works. But a good move here, almost by Mr. Goat to get a really good switchback. But obviously Matt on the brakes, exiting the airpin, did some excellent defending of making sure Mr. Goat did not get a great exit. And Mr. Goat's now, wow, that's 4 or 5 tenths behind now. So whatever's happened there, Mr. Goat really got nervous for getting too close potentially and has a bit of a snap there. And that's Maverick right on the back of him now for challenging for P8 in the background. However, there's more contact and more chaos going on between these three down in the bottom 10, I'd say. That is, I believe, Skill Issue trying to go for a move. No, that's Viper Strike, sorry, trying to go for a move on Skill Issue. And in the background, I believe Twin has been into the pit lane on the soft compound tyre. 3-second time penalty awarded to Maverick for multiple track limit warnings, which is going off track and going back on. He's into the pit lane. And let's see what he goes on to. It's going to be the medium compounded tyre. As his pit stop done, we'll see what he can do to the remaining exit of this race. Suffocating was closing on them two up ahead, but now the gap is 1.8, so he's lost some time once again. Jazz, however, has lost time to Suffocating. It's about 1 second now, so Suffocating can breathe a little bit and he won't be on under so much pressure, or humongous pressure, shall we say. Viper Strikes right on the gearbox here. Twin. Could Twin have damage, or does he just really struggle in Sector 1 compared to Sector 2 and Sector 3? That could be a possibility, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's prioritized a lot more straight line speed than corner exits, corner entrances, and the braking zones. These could be the corners where he struggles on his setup in his car, because Viper Strikes 4 tenths behind, not gaining much in straight lines, so it could be straight line speed that's his main focus. As you see there, he goes way too wide almost, and Viper Strikes almost had that move there, but it was defense from Viper Strikes to keep not defense from Twin to keep Viper Strikes behind and getting Driver's Model up. So it's all going well. I think I'm a little bit tired, chat. What do you say? What do you say? Right, James Mustang, 3-second time penalty, but won't matter to him so much because he won't lose any positions as he's down in P13. Webb McQueen, though, he has come to the pit lane. Is Brisbane going to carry on? He is indeed. Ryan Gosling's going to carry on. Tajusa is going to carry on. Suffocating's going to carry on. Jazz is going to carry on. Matt carrying on. No one coming into the pit lane yet. Really? Twin's in. So Twin comes in. A little bit late from him on pit entry, but he gets in and he's now down to P11. Robin McQueen on exit finds himself down in P10. So could just be the chance now for him to get clean air and just focus on getting a good position to the remaining laps of this race. Could he get held up potentially? We'll see what happens. What's happening down in the lovely world of P11 and P12. Not much, because Maverick's got passed into P11 because Twin was in the pit lane. So that's a free position for Mav in P11 now. Did box. So see if he can make up any more positions. Mr. Goat quite close on the rear wing of Matt now. Has he got a good exit on the hairpin? He's still stuck behind Matt, which definitely isn't ideal. It's probably frustrating him in the car now, right now. So we will see what happens. So we've now got Brisen into the pit lane. So could this be a moment for these two to try and get ahead of Rob McQueen? Potentially. We'd almost had wheel-to-wheel combat there between Matt and Mr. Goat. Mr. Goat peels in to the pit lane that we'd love to see. Where's Brisen? He's now leaving pit exit. Most importantly, where is Webby McQueen? He is making his way through the final corner to the start and finish. Where's Brisen? Almost at pit exit. Where's Webby? Coming to the end of turn 1, and he's back where he belongs, into P3. Brisen slots in P4. Webby on the medium compounded tyre now. Brisen, however, on the soft compounded tyre. So the advantage to the moment is Brisen. Ryan Gosling on the soft compounded tyre. Tachus on the soft compounded tyre. Suffocating on the soft compounds. Jazz on the soft compound. And Maverick on the medium compounded tyre. Mr. Goat on the softs. Twin on mediums. Mediums for James. Vibe Strikes onto the soft compound tyre. This could get interesting, a bit spicy towards the end of this race. How well are the softs going to do around this circuit, around this track in particular? And can Webby hold off the challenge? Have to wait and see, of course. Can Webby stay behind, keep his cool, keep calm and collected, and get to the end of the race? The gap right now is 3.6 seconds, although Brisen does have a time penalty to his name around about 3 seconds. What's his pace like, and can he close down that gap? Have to wait and see. So Webby now making his way into the final 2 corners. Skillishu into the pit lane, Matt into the pit lane. Skillishu with a 5-second time penalty for, unfortunately, speeding in the pit lane. Matt's serving his pit stop. Skillishu but to serve his pit stop. Webby back into the race lead of this Suzuka race with lap number 10. 5 more laps of racing to go. And I believe it's going to be Brisen in P2. 3.5 is the gap between them two. Can Brisen close it down on that compounded tyre? We will have to wait and see. That's all we can do at the moment. Just play the patient game and wait for the action to come towards us. Battles happening left, right and centre as they exit the pit lane is going to be... What is it? With the way it's going now, it could be Webby winning the race, even though Brisen's on the soft tyre, so he'll be closing down that gap potentially very, very quickly. Gaps are quite wide open right now. Non-competitive, shall we say, but Twin is around about, what, 9/10 behind Matt, so he's close enough to challenge, and bit of contact there between them two. That is Twin and Skillishu getting a bit bumper to bumper, shall we say. So, let's hope that doesn't carry on too much, but yeah, that was a bit risky then, a bit scary, shall we say. As Webby McQueen as well, so it's the fastest lap of a 1:43.523. That is a mega lap time, and I think be very happy with that one as well. So keep an eye on that to see if that decreases or happens. But for now, Webby still leads the way to the end of this race. And we'll just see if he can do it. Can he win it? Is he able to take the race victory here today? Which I think he'd be very happy with and delighted with. I think he could. Which I think he would also be very happy with. But, like I say, gap's starting to open up. And the fighting is happening down below between 9th, 10th, and you could say 11th as well. So that, whilst that's all going on, gaps are pretty big at the moment, shall we say, so not much to really say. But apart from, can Brisen close down that gap to Webby to fight for the race win and potentially take the win if he then creates a 3-second gap? We've got a move there in the background between Skillishu and Twin. Fighting now for 9th and 10th, but Skillishu on top, Twin demoted down to P10. However, in the background, Mr. Goat might try and go for a move here. Just isn't close enough, but is he going to try and go late on the brakes? He is going to try and go late on the brakes, and it's turn number 13 now, and 14. Mr. Goat on top, P10. What a lovely move that was. You don't normally see moves happen there. No, he's lost it. He's bottled it. He's round. That's a front wing lost. That's a virtual safety car. Lap at number 11. Heading towards lap number 12, VSC. Racing speed neutralized. Drivers slow down. And they will go back to racing speed very, very shortly. But no, I was not expecting that to happen. And someone has retired from a session and they have crashed, actually, on pit entrance. That is, unfortunately, Mr. Go out the session. We're back to racing speed. Twin getting a very good restart and getting ahead of Skillishu, who's, oh no! Spun around, actually. And he's out of the points now. And, oh, he actually hits the wall there, which definitely isn't ideal. So he's probably got a bit of damage from that. And, yeah, he now finds himself with a broken front wing down in P11. Viper strikes into the pit lane now. Probably got a bit of damage himself. He comes out on probably a fresh set of the soft compound of a tyre. And now, yeah, Skillishu having that moment, going very, very slowly. Might retire on track. Obviously not retire on track, retire in the pit lane. Or might just have had enough, you could say. But no, that is big woes, and I think he'll be quite annoyed and disappointed with that moment, ideally. He's spinning around, though. Trying to get the tyres warmed up. Definitely not going well for him. Definitely not ideal, but I guess it is what it is. We should see him back for round number 4. I'm not too sure where it is at. We have got someone fighting, or actually in the pit lane. It's Brisen in the pit lane. And to choose. Oh, they got drive-thrus. Did I miss that? I think, yeah, they've got drive-thrus. So, suffocating into P3 now. Ryan Gosling into P2. Webby, 6.9 is the gap difference between them lot right now. Matt up into P5. Twin making up into P6. Brisen and Tatus. Big woes for them. 9th and 10th for Prima Racing. Definitely not what we want to see. Mav also into the pit lane, probably serving a drive-through as well. Holy smokes, that is definitely not ideal. Don't think I'll be happy with that one. Viper Strikes, though, right on the gearbox here of Skillishu as we make our way into the final 2 corners. Obviously, Viper Strikes into P12. Skillishu in P11. Viper Strikes, though, however, might go for a move, making their way down to turn 1. Heading towards the S-bends. But it could be getting a little bit scary for these two. Still wheel to wheel. Viper Strikes off track, however. Skillishu is still ahead. Very defensive move there. Very clean battling going on with everybody tonight. And that's Viper Strikes up into P11 now. Getting past Skillishu. Skillishu with that damage just struggling to understand where he's trying to go and The grip levels are just absolutely crazy. And yeah, going off track once again, definitely not ideal. And definitely not what you want to see. For a second there, I thought it was raining, but it wasn't. But yeah. Not what we want to see. Right then, back on board of Brisen and James Mustang. These two getting quite close for comfort. And that is skill issue out of the session and retiring at the hairpin. And that is going to be our second DNF of the session. The penultimate lap of the race now. Mr. Goat has obviously left the session. And that is him done and dusted for tonight. James Mustang defending now for P8. Oh, sorry, say P7. Brisano saying, thank you very much. I will take P7 away from you. And you'll go down to number 8 as I'm pressing wrong buttons once again. Lovely jubbly. Right then. What's happening with the top 3? Not much, shall I say. Webby leading the way by 5.7 is the gap. Absolutely crazy. He is having the time of his life right now. Let's see. Can James Mustang get himself up into, I'd say, what shall I say? Maybe get his way up into P7, but unfortunately not, as the gap's now... Oh no, never mind. I was getting myself confused. I thought he was fighting with P8 or 7, but he's fighting with P9, shall I say, to choose behind him. And, looking quite comfortable and looking like he's raring to go, shall we say, around this circuit. And he's right on the gearbox here of James Mustang. Is he going to try and get a move done here? And he doesn't. James Mustang, though, 3-second time penalty, 4 multiple warnings. These two still going at it on the exit then of 18, making their way down to turn number 1. And to choose stays ahead for now. James Mustang tucks in behind for the final lap of this race. And it's Webby leading us for the final time here for Suzuka. Round number 3, season 9. He's had a very easy race, shall we say, leading for almost every lap, apart from when he voxed and had to wait for the other 2 cars to come in. But apart from that, he's done himself well, done himself proud. I think he'll be very happy with that one. But there's still more fighting happening, of course. Obviously, these two quite close. And we're going to go back on board with our race leader in just a second as they're making their way to the corners of number 16, number 17, number 18. Webby McQueen, for the first time this season, will take victory at Suzuka. What a lovely, lovely race he's had. He takes P1 for now. Ryan Gosling into P2. Superb race of him and suffocating as well. He'll be delighted. Back-to-back P3. Or P2 to P3 as well. So there you have it. Jazz into P4. Matt come around the final couple of corners of P5. Twin to take P6. Brisen to take P7. As he's not close enough to get Twin on the exit of 18. And he'll come around the corners to take P7. To Choose to take P8. James to take P9. Maverick to take the final points paying position. Viper Strikes to finish home in P11 after a difficult, interesting race. But there you have it, folks. Your top 3, Webby McQueen, Ryan Gosling, suffocating. They are your top 3 just for now. These are provisional results, so anything could change. If they've done anything bad on the track and it gets reported and the shooter took it and say, oh, you get a penalty, positions could change and swap. We'll find out towards the end of race action, and we'll find out on Tuesday what the results are. Exactly, GG to all the drivers and driver of the day, Matt. Have to agree. Matt was definitely my driver of the day. What about yours, chat? Do let me know. And we're going to get going here and get everything sorted very, very shortly. And just end off the stream really with good words, kind words. And then off we go. So we're going to wait for the loading screen to finish. See the provisional results for now. And then we'll talk about the next race for the next weekend of racing. And leave it at that. I do love these loading times. They're absolutely brilliant. Here we go. We'll skip that because we want to get straight to the results. And there we have it then. There is your classification from P1 down to P13. Rob McQueen in P1. P2 is not correct because we are on the wrong screen. Thank you so much, F1, for doing that. There is your feature race results. Webby up into P1. Ryan Gosling down into P2. Suffocating P3. Jazz P4. P5 Matt. P6 Twin. P7 Mr. Chachus. P8 Brisen. P9 James Mustang. P10 Master Maverick himself. Final points paying position, and then 11th, 12th, and 13th, 2 DNFs, 5 strikes finishing in P11. There you go. That is everything done and dusted for today. Let's crack on then with the calendar. We can now tick off round number 3, Suzuka, and we head to round number 4 now at the Trek of Netherlands. Zandvoort, a favourite circuit of mine. Absolutely love that circuit indeed. And we'll see a sprint race there, of course. A feature race, of course, as well. One-shot qualifying for round number 4 at Netherlands. We'll see what the weather is like because that could be just a little bit interesting. It could get a little bit spicy and also a little bit crazy. But guys, you've been awesome. You've been fantastic. And I'll catch you in the next one, which will actually be tomorrow. Not with F2 lot, but with the ACC lot. So make sure to tune into the broadcasted stream at 7:55 UK time. And you can watch some ACC action live on the Phoenix Sim Sport channel. Once again, do head over there to our social channel as well, where obviously the stream will be posted there as well. All that bits and bobs done and dusted. You've been awesome. You've been fantastic. And I'll catch you in the next one. For me, Mr. Flynn, I'm signing off. Bye-bye. And just before I go, congratulations to Mr. Rob McQueen once again for the race victory. I've just seen the chat. He looks very, very happy. And yes, but now, for real, I'll catch you next one. Bye-bye.